Yeah, and you're speaking facts because like there's a lot of people that do have millions in the bank and they're not happy.
I actually did another story. I'm telling you, I'm killing them with the podcast. Last week I did an episode called The Pros and Cons of Being Rich and Famous. And I'm actually talking about what you just finished talking about, Panda. I'm talking about personal conversations that I had with people like Puffy, with people like Birdman. And they actually told me that even though they was rich and famous, they was not happy. And I went into the pros and cons of being rich and famous. And believe me when I tell you, happiness does not bring you money, does not bring you happiness, my people. Let me say that again. Money does not, of course, there's an advantage to having millions. You live a great lifestyle, but it doesn't necessarily bring happiness. You could be living in the projects, in the trailer park, and be totally happy, as opposed to somebody having $20 million and their ass is miserable. You know what I mean? It happens like that, man. Again, the podcast, Charlie Rock LD, repping the real. These are the things I talk about. Rock with your boy, we in the yard.
I always say that money is everything until you get it.
I agree. And whoever says that when they get money, they're not going to change, and we're talking about real money. We're talking about millions of dollars. Whoever says I'll get millions of dollars and I'll still be the same person, my man, you're lying. The only reason you're saying that because you never had it. You know, money changes people, my man. Again, we can never say everybody, but the majority of the people, they get a few M's on their bank account and they're not the same people. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. I'm not knocking them. I'm not saying it's bad. You should always look forward to prosperous and always do better in life, sure. All I'm saying is don't let money be your sole purpose of living. When I wake up in the morning, I think about what I'm going to talk in my podcast. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. You know what I mean? You know, there's people that be like, and let me tell you another thing about rich people. You know what's a rich people's worst nightmare? Their worst fear is not dying. They don't give a fuck if they die. Their worst fear is going broke. Their worst fear is going broke. Fat Joe used to tell me that all the time on the visit. Charlie, I done made $1 million. The easy part is making the $1 million. The hard part is staying with the $1 million. It's crazy, but it is what it is, man.
That's why rich people are more cheap than poor people, right?
I agree. I know from experience. It seems like the more money you got, the cheaper you get. It's crazy. I'll give you a quick example. Joe used to run the Rucker games, the basketball game Rucker games, and he had Stephon Marbury playing for him. And Stephon Marbury had mad millions. Way more millions than Joe. And he was still making his business that Joe would fly him down first class, put him up in the best hotel, and buy him dinner and buy him all types of shit. And he refused to spend his money. You know, that's just one example how the more money you got, the más seta you get, nigga. That's crazy.